Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and the inventor of the CTKS method and Borsog trading. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently down 5.71% to 21,633. Ethereum is down 10.05% to 1481. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you for tuning in. I love sharing this time together. What we do each and every day is look through the sectors of the crypto market. We know that opportunities reset daily, and we're looking and hunting for bargains. Even though there's a lot of red in the crypto market, there are always opportunities as well. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our global family's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there's always hope. I'd like to thank Oscar Bollinger, a CTKS ambassador. He had a fantastic quote, and I wanted to share that with you. Staying in zones 1 and 2, we become anxious, or anger grips and makes us rambunctious. Real wealth awaits in zone 3 and zone 4, when peace and calm can fill us to the core. Here in the CTKS family, we have a creed. It contains answers for times of need. Extrapolating from what's in it, we take the story of loss and bin it. Thank you, Oscar, for your very insightful words. And what is the CTKS creed? This primes us for profitability in the crypto market, but indeed in life as well. And what we say to ourselves: I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities and life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with Borsog. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. This is critical to fighting self-doubt and self-sabotage, two of our greatest life enemies, and we must treat them that way because they actually suck all the joy and happiness out of life. As crypto technical analysts, we scientifically track investor attention, and investor attention is measured by price, which is reality. This is really important to talk about. Reality is price. Whatever price is doing, that is the reality. Of course, price is influenced by outside trends, and we capture those influences by marking up our charts with the CTKS method. So what we do is check stock markets, check world events, collect probabilities, and then come back into the crypto market, finding the market's focus, understanding that opportunities reset daily, and enhancing our pattern recognition. And what is Rule 109 about? Enhanced pattern recognition. It's all about understanding the crypto that you're looking at, your beloved crypto, their personalities. And yes, they have personalities for sure. Before we buy or sell, we must master emotional control. That is Rule 734. How many years you've actually spent inside a particular financial market doesn't mean that you've mastered emotional control. Emotional control is mastered when we especially get away from these retail emotions, such as hope, optimism, thrill, euphoria, anxiety, denial, panic, and of course, the worst enemy of every person on earth, blame. And when we look at blame and anger, that is the hallmark of Zone 1 and Zone 2. And it can be obvious, it can be direct anger, or it can be inferential, passive-aggressive behavior. But neither will help build a person's portfolio. What actually happens is to become professional, move across to Zone 3 and Zone 4, as Oscar said in his little poem. That's where we focus on positive excellence. Positive excellence builds character, and it makes you able and strong enough to support the huge success that you can experience in this world. And everybody deserves to experience that. But if you're caught in retail emotions, you'll have a lot of trouble holding on to success. That's why it's critically important to become unemotional and manage our emotional state. And that's what mastering emotional control comes in. Rule 734, we actually look at positive excellence and real wealth foundations before we get into the trigger section of the masterclass. And there's many ways that you can pull the trigger, but one thing is critically important to always keep in mind. That is Rule 7. Buying creates profits. It doesn't actually matter what the crypto is doing. If you buy at the right place and sell at the right place, you're going to make profit. You can be on the wrong side of the trade, but on the right side of the percentage, and you will make money. That's what Borsog is all about. Borsog is getting in and getting out. It's a specialized form of trading, and it's all about getting you familiar with market movements, not going in heavy and strong, but just using coffee money to align, to synchronize with the market. Rule 225, Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. Masterclass students, you'll get my live chart in TM6. What do we notice with fear? Fear is receding from the crypto market, but we did have a spike up and then a retracement. What happened to the Nasdaq 100? This is a measure of economic confidence. We saw prices come down, do a bit of a bounce, and now they've come down again. This is showing this is a degree of weakness inside the economic system. But how weak is it actually? I want you to actually focus on this area here of bond prices and this area here of bond yields. Please let me know in the comments how these areas relate to what actually happened with the Nasdaq and what happened with Bitcoin recently. If you do this kind of active learning, you'll find that you understand things 10, 100 times better than if you just passively sit back and just soak it all in. It's much more important to get active. And especially, I'd like you to focus on what is actually happening around here with bond prices and what is happening down here with bond yields and how this could relate to Bitcoin's momentum. It's really important that you build these skills. What do we actually see here with gold? Gold has been rallying up, and that's terrific. Good to see gold. Peter Schiff must be very happy. And what do we see with the dollar? It's still in this formation. It's under resistance. It's not quite sure what it's doing at the moment, but hopefully it goes down, because when the dollar goes down, mainly the markets rally. But please make sure you don't think it's always. The dollar can go up and the markets can go up as well. And what are we seeing with oil? Oil is starting to base. It's starting to form an attack on this particular resistance line. If it actually gets above that line, we would expect the oil prices to increase. Just bear this in mind. And what do we see with junk bonds? Junk bonds are going up. They're still going up. We haven't seen any form of significant retracement. That is a risk-on behavior inside the markets. And there are clues in here. If you've been joining in each and every day, first of all, a very big thank you. I love to share this time together. And the other thing that you will see over time, you'll get to read and get a feeling of the market. That's really important. Bitcoin moves your beloved alts. If you know that Bitcoin's direction is a certain way, you can take advantage of so many things inside crypto. Looking at the next FOMC meeting in 1 day and 18 hours, what is anticipated here? A week ago, 30% probability of a 100 basis point increase, and that's dropped to 22.5%. And a week ago, a 71% basic probability on a 75 basis point increase, and now it's up to 77.5%. You can see the probabilities are actually aligning that the Fed will increase the Fed target rate by 75 basis points. So the current rate should be in the range of 225 to 250. The inflation narrative is on everybody's lips, and if you think about the annual inflation rate, we didn't get peak inflation back on the end of March. We've actually seen an increase of the inflation rate up to 9.1%. And when we look at the Fed balance sheet, the Fed said that they were curtailing all purchases. They were easing off their quantitative stimulus, but instead we've seen an actual increase in the Fed balance sheet. Ooh, facts and fiction, they really are interesting. When I first started in financial markets, I was addicted to the news. I would read every paper, and believe it or not, the internet was not widespread when I did my finance degree. In fact, we were just hearing about this newfangled thing called the internet. It's not like today. Today is so much better. But the concept is, when you read the news, you'll see inflation, balance sheet, M1, M2, break-even inflation rates, all of these things. If you just turn your attention to the charts, you're going to sleep much, much better at night. The charts tell you the reality. The news tells you a story. That's why it's called a news story. What do we see in the charts? We can see, of course, an increase in the Fed balance sheet, an increase in the annual inflation rate. We've got old data for M1 and M2 money stocks. That's just basically the money floating around the economy. And what do we notice about the 5-year and 10-year break-even inflation rate? They've been coming down dramatically. Why are they coming down dramatically? Because the market has interpreted that inflation will level off. And why do we look at these things? Why? Why do we look at these things, Ken? Because it's all about Bitcoin. We want to understand continuous signals. We want to understand how different things impact on Bitcoin. And I do a deep dive in TM4 in the Masterclass. And Masterclass students, you'll get my live chart in TM4 as well. In TR23, inside the Masterclass, I do a deep dive on the metals, and we can see the inverse VIX. This is the inverted VIX. It's coming up at the moment, and this can give us some signals about how different metals are moving. We can see palladium and platinum coming up. Bitcoin has done a bit of a retracement, as we know. The inverse of the DXY can give us some direction on where metals go, and we can see gold and silver are still under a lot of pressure. And it's interesting to note from an article in the Wall Street Journal, what you can see is some particular commodities, some parts of the economic system. For example, televisions have actually decreased in price 12.75%. Telephones, hardware, calculators, and other consumer information items down about 13%. Education and communication commodities down about 6%. It's very interesting, but when we look at other areas, butter is up 21.26%. Roasted coffee, oh no! Our coffee money is being devalued. 16.82% up. That's why we Borsog, because we can't buy the real thing. Fresh milk, other than whole milk, up 16.72%. It's a very interesting thing to see how different areas of the economic system have been hit by inflation. And you can find that tracker in the inflation tracker. When will prices stop going up? Here. In LV19, in the Masterclass, I do a deep dive across the global indexes, and there's always ways to make money no matter what the markets are doing. And just by going long, just get in synchronization first. That's the critical thing. What we notice here, let me just turn Bitcoin off for a tick. Oh no, I turned Bitcoin off. Somebody turn it back on. Just kidding. When we look at the NASDAQ, we can see this particular resistance line. We were suggesting that the NASDAQ may come up to this resistance line and try to challenge it. And now what gives that more credibility? We can see that the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, they're broken out from this resistance. This is a really good thing. And what does that actually mean? It means this momentum inside the US market should drive other global markets higher. And that's what's pretty much happening across the board. China has had some real issues recently, and its stock market has come down. But what we do is that we keep our eye on the US markets, because basically 60 cents out of every dollar that's invested in stock markets is invested in the US market. It really matters. Keep your eyes on the US markets. And when we look at transportation, we can see the transport indices have been under pressure, just like Bitcoin. Look at this directional correlation. Quite fascinating. Even this area where Bitcoin dropped down quite severely, all the indexes dropped down, even the transportation indexes as well. And what can we see? We can see the XAL, the New York Stock Exchange Airline Index, starting to gather a bit of a support level through here. It's a little bit hard to see, but the concept is we're seeing some bottoming out. Can these transportation indexes get over their resistance? Please let me know what you think about that. And we actually discuss this in TM3 inside the masterclass. We discuss so many things that will never be shared in the public channel. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Over the past few days, we've been talking about the patterns that have been emerging inside Bitcoin's price momentum. And the question was in yesterday's video, where do you think 22 will hammer itself out? We can see 22 has come down to this line. And what I've done is to just put different lines in here and given you different areas that you can look at. These are actually quite significant areas inside Bitcoin's price history and price action just currently. And what do we see? We were starting to rock and roll to get above this 22,013 level, but unfortunately that just was not meant to be. We had a big candle rejection there. Notice all this negative air. Masterclass students will understand what that means. And what it basically means, so many sellers are above this resistance line. The price didn't even get the opportunity to touch resistance. It was squished down. Squish is a technical term. This showed that the sellers were in control. They were pushing price down. So we can say that basically price came down to around this 21,500 level. And congratulations to all the community members that thought that would be the case. You've done exceedingly well. Now let's have a think about where price could go in the next 24 hours. Again, it's all active learning. When you think about a chart like this, you know that it was losing support and it's under resistance. It's still under resistance at the moment, and it's making its way down slowly, not dramatically, not traumatically, which is good because we know that Bitcoin can do this to the upside and it can do that to the downside as well. So it's good that we're not seeing that just at the moment. But if retail fear hits, a lot of people, a lot of smart money will leverage that to actually buy at lower prices. There's a little cartoon that I would love you to keep in your mind. When price goes up, everybody is happy. Now I'm talking about retail. I'm talking about zone 1 and zone 2. People driven by their emotional states. Now what happens when price comes down? Of course, people run for the hills. They bolt. But there's a problem here. Watch this. As price starts to come up, there's no one on the dance floor. This is when the best music is playing. And people always say, oh, I could have bought the bottom. I need to buy the bottom and sell the top. But there's ghosts, there's crickets on the dance floor. There's no one there. But invisible smart money is there and it's bidding the price up to pull retail back. And what happens next? They come back buying, and it hits and then plummets. And then what do people do? They run for the hills. Do not be one of these people. This is desynchronization of the market. That's why I invented Borsog trading, to try to help people with coffee money get into the synchronization patterns of the market. And that's why I've been sharing Bitcoin's momentum just recently, because I want you to understand what is going on from a deep, deep level. Now the dog is back. Wow, they even got a dog on the floor. That's so cool. Gotta love dogs. Now, what is happening here? Of course, it's moving in waves. It's going up and down all over the place. When is the best time to buy? When there's no one there. That is the best time to buy. And this is what I was saying. Self-doubt and self-sabotage will absolutely decimate your profitability in any financial market. If you can muster this strength through understanding and experience by just doing Borsog trades with coffee money, you're going to do incredibly well. When it comes to red days like this, our global family are like firefighters. We've got the protective gear on, we've got the training, and we have positive excellence, and we maintain real wealth foundations. That allows us not to focus on money. So many people focus on money and make that the focus in their lives. It is an unworthy focus. What you instead need to focus on is becoming a person of value and giving value to others. Not giving conflict and stress to others, giving value to others. That is what will make you successful. And when you combine that with kindness, integrity, decency, gratitude, you will gain happiness. And isn't that what it's all about? Having inner and outer peace is so critically important. Without inner and outer peace, nobody can be happy. And we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So short-circuiting the investor mindset, that emotional roller coaster mindset, is what we stand for inside our beloved global community. As a global family, we're here to actually prevent Zone 1 and Zone 2 behavior. But how do we prevent it? The truth is, we can't prevent it because everybody enters the panic zone when they enter into markets, and then the blame zone when all those promises of 100% return and 0% loss just don't play out. And then people with learning and patience and rules move to Zone 3, and then with positive excellence they move into Zone 4, where fear is mastered. This is a long process. The only thing that we can hope for is to minimize the time spent in Zone 1 and Zone 2. We can't eliminate it. It's just a rite of passage. But if you find yourself inside Zone 1 and Zone 2, you can have a much, much better life. And how does that start? By extracting gratitude from every day. It's impossible to be angry and grateful at the same time. And if you think about this, this is really powerful. Some people say their neural pathways are so aligned to anger that the very thought of gratitude makes them angry. And you can understand that. Some people have had a really, really rough ride in this world, in this life. And the truth is, just about everybody else has as well. It's a sham to think that we're the only ones who have suffered in this world. Other people have suffered far more than what we have. And even if you've suffered tremendous, traumatic experiences, you will be able to find someone that beats you at that. So when we look at life from this perspective, we can extract gratitude from every day, but we have to have a positive excellence focus to do so. If you're new to the videos, please know that this is what we do here. When you look at trading and investing, it's much more than just buy levels and sell levels. It's a deeply, deeply psychological state to be in. People can be in the markets for years and years and years and still have not mastered the smart money outlook. That's why I share this with everybody. I want you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, but also much more of an emotional blessing, and find happiness in the process as well. It's so important. Our time in this world is very limited. No matter how old you are, it always feels that way. So what have we seen here? Oh, Bitcoin, naughty Bitcoin, it's coming down. So where would we anticipate Bitcoin's price if it continues on this direction? Where do we expect that to end up in the next day? And we always make three-dimensional decisions. We understand what we will do with a specific position or our entire portfolio if price goes against us, goes nowhere, or goes for us. And that is Borsog ANF as well. You must have this method of thinking because it's really important. Crypto is a crazy market, and it can go down and ping back up like a Super Ball. So right now, it may be giving the indication that it's going and heading towards zero. No such thing. Bitcoin will never head towards zero, in my opinion. It's just like when I was in the internet. Back in 1991, I was getting involved in the internet, and I saw so much fluff. The internet is a fad. It will never take off, by noted computer scientists. Oh, well, what happened? The internet is everywhere, and crypto will be everywhere as well in 20 years' time, no question about it. Just apply your three-dimensional decision making. Know what you will do if price continues to fall, if it goes up or just goes sideways. You need to think about that all the time. And so many people get stuck because they're caught on that emotional roller coaster, and they say, I can't make a decision. That's why doing the Borsog ANF rule is really important, and Borsog trading, just taking a very small percentage of your investing portfolio and learning how to time the market with coffee money. That's vitally important for you to do. Let's look at two potential propositions here. We've got a resistance line, and that resistance line probably tomorrow will play out, let's say, around 22,500, and we've got a congealing of different support levels down at this, say, 20,500 level. What do you think? Are you expecting more, 22.5 or 20.5? Please let me know in the comments. Or you're expecting potentially just flatline, just going horizontal. It all matters, and the more active learning that you do, the better off you will be financially and every other way. To realistically answer things, we need to get more information. We can see the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is currently 30, and we've noticed that Bitcoin is starting to sell down, but there's a lot of support throughout this area as well. Just bear that in mind. And if we zoom out and look at the macroeconomic side of things that I showed you earlier, if we get a retracement of the major stock indexes up to those resistance lines, especially the NASDAQ, we would expect Bitcoin to rally. So keep all of these three dimensions in your mind at the same time. It's really hard to do that. Retail only has one dimension, the dimension that actually goes in their favor. What we need to do is to have a smart money mindset, knowing that all three dimensions could play out in a specific time period, and just have strategies to deal with that. Let's check out what the options market and max pain level is indicating for Bitcoin. When we looked at yesterday's max pain level, 22.5, what was tomorrow's max pain level? It was 23,000, but it's dropped by 1,000 down to 22. What actually happens here? Price dictates the max pain level, not the other way around. And Masterclass students, you'll get this live chart in TG34. Let's have a look at tomorrow's, the day after tomorrow's max pain. We're seeing 22,000. And what is the max pain level for the end of the month? It's 23,000 up here. You can see end of month 23, and you can see how it changes. Back here around the 15th of July, it was 24,000, and even back on the 8th of July, it was 25,000. So there's more, if you like, negativity inside the crypto market just at the moment. What about the shorts and the longs? The shorts are having a field day. They're rallying up. They're putting so much pressure on the market. Naughty shorts. And what are the longs doing? The longs were almost basing, but they actually lost that, and they've chickened out. The longs are running. The shorts have the longs on the run. We're like crypto detectives. We're looking under the hood of the crypto engine and doing a tune-up. Ooh. Are we crypto mechanics? Yeah, let's be mechanics. Okay, over the past 24 hours, 214.75 million in liquidations across 82,732 positions. And what do we see in the past 24 hours? About 83% of total liquidations were long liquidations. What about the past 12 hours? About, say, 82%. What about the past 4 hours? Around 78% long liquidations, all long so far. And the past hour, 94% longs. The shorts are absolutely whacking the longs around the ears. And what does this mean? The price is going lower and the longs are under pressure and the shorts are having an absolute field day. But one thing we know, that shorts and longs are always whacking each other. It's just like the mafia, they're always whacking each other. Okay, a different analogy. So what we see is the shorts and the longs liquidate each other regularly all the time. You'll never see a situation where it's just one bar in one direction. It just doesn't work that way. There's always the other side getting hit as well. Over the past 24 hours, the entire crypto market has come down 5.87%. That's why I've been sharing that internal momentum of Bitcoin with you, because it's really important to develop that skill to understand what is happening. We've got overwhelming negative bias in the market at the current time, so you have to pay attention to that kind of information. Looking at the greatest gainers in the top 100, TWT taking our pole position, 3.67% up, but that's not a lot. And everything else is basically a stable coin. If you're investing in stable coins to make a significant return, please don't do it. Stable coins are supposed to be stable. Of course, being in cash is never a problem, but the concept is if you want 20, 30, 40, 50% gains on a stable coin, run from that stable coin. Let's have a look at the greatest losers. Heading up the back of the pack is Phantom, down 15.03%. Then CVX, down 14.45%. Curve, down 14.24%. NIA, down 12.72%. Synthetics, down 12.6%. And AVAX, down about 12%. When looking at total value locked in DeFi, it's come down 3.26% to 83.47 billion. Let's have a look at how Bitcoin is going. We can see that sell-off from that particular area. So 21, 22, 23. We can also see that the sellers have been really strong. They've made sure that the buyers can't get across this particular line, playing at around 22,600. So the price now, just right now, is $21,085. We've got some severe negative momentum here, but we've got a few places the price can be caught on. And if you're using the CTKS method, you already know a secret place that price should congeal around. Let's check the crypto market out, and what do we see? We can see Bitcoin selling down just at current, and we understand what's happening with this particular pattern because we've analyzed it so minutely. And what do we also see with Ethereum? Ethereum is also following Bitcoin's gravity downwards, and we can see the same thing with Binance Coin. XRP is following Bitcoin's gravity down as well, as is ADA, Solana doing the same, and Doge selling off currently more powerfully than what Bitcoin is doing, and DOT moving down in alignment. We can see Tron getting very hard hit by Bitcoin's gravitational push downwards at the moment, and we can also see SHIB very hard hit as well. AVAX is coming down. This is the reason that I was actually pointing out Bitcoin's pattern to you. It's really important to keep your eye on those patterns. Pattern recognition is a valuable thing to have. Let's have a look at Matic. Moving down with Bitcoin's gravity, but not as strongly. It's resisting that downward pull. And we can see Uni just suffered a bit of a sharp decline, as of course Bitcoin sharply declined as well. And what do we know? We know Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. This is what that rule is for. And we can see FTT coming down in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, same as Chainlink and Litecoin also. Mana, Decentraland, is coming down with Bitcoin's gravity. Ape is also coming down, but notice that Ape is much stronger. Sand is also coming down, just in alignment. Stacks, just in alignment as well. WaxP, just dropping in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, engine coming down, theta coming down, Axie Infinity coming down. This is why we must pay attention to what Bitcoin's gravity is. Looking at file sharing, Filecoin, going down in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Arweave doing the same, but stronger. Arweave has had a lot of strength recently. Hot retracing, weaker than Bitcoin's gravity. It's overexerted. And storage, the same as hot, under pressure. And Anchor, under pressure as well. But they're moving in alignment. Sia Coin, also under pressure. Flux, a little bit stronger, but moving in alignment. Ocean, stronger and moving in alignment. But what you will see when you look across the entire crypto space is this playing out time and time again. Every day I look through hundreds and hundreds of crypto charts to gain an insight into the crypto market. Having a look at the community favorites, we can see synthetics still on an uptrend and bucking Bitcoin's gravity at the moment. Good on you, synthetics. TRB is doing quite well and going in the opposite direction, but it's still impacted by Bitcoin's gravity. And we can see TWT, TRB and TWT. We can see TWT doing really quite well. That's Trust Wallet. But always remember, profit is made when you buy and where you buy. You can make profit out of anything so long as you buy in the right way. Secret Network is doing well, but under Bitcoin's gravity. And we can see also Self-Key or Key has come back to a level of support. It's just a little bit under at the moment. If we anticipate Bitcoin coming down further, these cryptos should come down as well. Always keep this in your mind. It will help you with your buy levels. Unfi or Unified, we can see just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. IOTA moving down. It was quite strong before, but nothing can withstand Bitcoin's gravity. We can see Steam has been very spiky, but it's not moving down strongly like Bitcoin's gravity. That's showing a lot of strength at the moment, and we discussed TWT earlier. I thought something we could talk about in the comments today. What part of the CTKS creed speaks loudest and most strongly to you? Which one do you find most beneficial? That could be really interesting to discuss. And the reason we keep our eye on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes down, you can see exactly what happens to the crypto market. It's also good to remember that there are still opportunities inside crypto. From our perspective, the redder the better. And what we do with Borsog is we hunt out opportunities. What you'll find, if you look, if you seek, you shall, indeed, you shall find. And the important thing on days like today is not to FOMO in. Just take your time with things and get the feel of the market. I'm currently offering a partial scholarship to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. If you're interested, please reach out and directly message me at Twitter. My details are in the description of this particular video. Applications are open, so just reach out and contact me if you are interested, and you would also put in the hard work. The masterclass is indeed a very, very full-on experience. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for assisting masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global family. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.